make some varieties of focaccia. To start, we're gonna add 1 cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast. I'm giving them a stir and letting it rest for around 5 minutes so that it can activate the yeast. While we wait for that, let's make our olive oil garlic mix. I'm using my handy dandy already frozen garlic. I love to mince a bunch of garlic and then just pop it in a Ziploc bag, press it down, and then it's basically a game changer because I can use it whenever I want and not have to like rush to chop it up. So that's just a little tip if you want easy, quick minced garlic at home. Or you can just buy it, I guess. But it's not the same because this is fresh garlic. So around 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of salt. Feel free to add more garlic if you like. Personally, I love garlic, so that's up my alley. But I'm also making garlic butter to go with this, so there's gonna be more garlic added in after that. 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. This is focaccia, so you know focaccia uses a ton of good quality olive oil. And then about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Stir it together. Now we're gonna add half the oil mixture to it and save the other half for later. Then you add in 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour and just stir that together until it combines. I just added some more olive oil around it and then cover it and put it in a warm place for about an hour to let it rise. This metal bowl is so much lighter, low-key easier to work with. While we wait for it to rise, I'm gonna shred 2 blocks of white cheddar cheese because I am making 3. And I'm gonna put cheese in all of them. Now we're gonna make some garlic butter. I'm making a bigger portion. If you are only making 1, then you just want 1/2 cup of butter. And we're gonna melt this. About 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. If you have fresh parsley, add 1 teaspoon of fresh parsley. I'm just gonna add dried. And then you also add 2 tablespoons of grated parm. But I want to grate it directly on the focaccia, so I'm gonna save that for later. Now let's see how our dough is doing. They do look like they've doubled. You're gonna preheat your oven to 450. Put the remainder of your oil mixture from before into your cast iron skillet or whatever you want to bake it on. I'm gonna spread it out, cover the sides a little bit. Take half the dough and press it into the bottom. To be honest, my cast iron skillet is a little big, but it's okay because it'll rise. And with focaccia, you usually just want to press dimples into it with your fingers. I have some shredded mozz and my shredded cheddar from earlier. So I'm going to put in a layer of shredded mozz, a good layer because we want it to be cheesy. And then also some shredded cheddar. Now with the second half of the dough, it's a little trickier. So I have a sheet of parchment paper here, and I'm gonna use this parchment paper to spread it out, otherwise it's gonna stick to the top. Spread it out the best that you can, and then we're gonna put this on top. It's a little thin, so that didn't work out too well, but it's fine. We'll make do with what we got. The first one's always the experiment one anyway, you know? Now we're gonna top it with more cheese and our garlic butter mixture. Lastly, some freshly grated parm. Pop it into our preheated oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until it's golden brown and the cheese is bubbling. See you in a little bit. Oh my. Oh my. I took it out at 20 minutes because my pan is pretty big, so the dough wasn't that much. Like I feel like I could have increased the amount of dough to put in here. Look at this beauty. She is beauty, she is grace. If you want a thicker focaccia, you might want a little more dough, but because I'm actually treating this more as like a pizza, because we are bringing this for a Super Bowl party, this works fine for me. Also at the bottom, there's all of these crispy garlic, which I am gonna definitely put it on top, because these are lovely crisps and we do not want to waste that. Gonna let that cool before I cut into it. In the meantime, we have to prep this for the second dough. There's actually still so much olive oil in here, and I still have my other ones, but I'm only gonna use some of it. I mainly just want the garlic bits at the bottom, to be honest. So there's more garlic for this one. Okay, are we ready for our second one? Okay, let's cut into this one. I'm gonna cut it into strips because I feel like that's easier for people to grab and eat, and also dip into my marinara sauce. Look at this. I cut a tiny piece to do a little taste test with you guys with my marinara sauce. But let's try it without it first. I think I could add more cheese in the next one. I wanted it really cheesy, like the first time I made it. It's not on YouTube, but it is on my TikTok. Now let's try it with some marinara sauce. Wow, this is the perfect condiment. The edges are nice and crispy, and because the way I cut it so that each piece gets some bit of edge, so you have a nice little crunch with your bites. You taste the garlic in here and it tastes so good, especially with the crispy garlic bits. All the Italian seasonings stand out. Pairing it with the marinara sauce was definitely the move to go. I have 2 more to make. I'm gonna make one with pepperoni, another one with maybe half pepperoni and then half like olives. These are our garlic bread slash pizza inspired focaccias. Let's make the next 2. Half the dough, press it down, add a lot of mozzarella cheese this time, and my white cheddar. Let's make it super cheesy. Now for the second half, I'm just gonna try to stretch it out and then place it on top. I did that the first time I made this and it turned out much better than when I used a parchment paper. So I'm just gonna try to cover the bottom layer with stretched out top layer to the best of my ability. To be honest, it's already looking better than the last one. What I love about these is you can really customize it to however you like. Now more cheese. I actually used fresh mozz the first time I made it and I honestly preferred that. But with the amount I was making this time, I was like, I need a lot of mozzarella. So I opted for shredded mozz. A lot of cheddar cheese on top. Can't forget our garlic butter, freshly grated parm. This one's gonna be so much cheesier. I'm gonna pop this in for about like 10 minutes and then I'm gonna throw some pepperoni on top for the last 10 minutes. Into the oven it goes. This one's already looking so much better than the last one. Now let's throw some pepperonis on top. And back into the oven it goes. This one's beautiful. Good?
Oh my god.
Look at this. Beautiful. Cut a small piece of the edge for myself to try with my marinara sauce. This one's so much fluffier, and it looked like it rose more too. So maybe it was just the dough, because it looked like there was more dough. Look at the crust on the bottom.
It's a banger.
That crunch, and they pair so well with some marinara sauce. Time to make our last one. Just gonna knead the dough a little bit. I did that for my second one and I feel like it helped. Spread the remainder of our olive oil mixture on the bottom. I feel like I'm a pro at this now. Take half the dough and knead it with your hands into the pan. Let's be generous with our cheese again because I feel like that helped so much in the last one. We have our mozzarella and our cheddar. Now let's stretch out the second piece of dough. Let's put the garlic butter mix on the bottom this time before we add on the other cheeses. I feel like I should have done that for the last. And again, we're gonna add our cheese, generous amounts of mozzarella and our white cheddar. I'm really going all out for this one. Again, I'm gonna pop this into the oven for 10 minutes and then I'm gonna take it out and add some toppings. For our last one, we're gonna leave half of it as cheese and then for the other half, I'm gonna put olives and pastrami. Now let's pop this in for another 10 minutes. Last one. Nothing new here anymore, right? So I'm gonna cut this up, wrap it up, and then bring it over to my friends. And you can really customize it to however you want it. Let's try a small piece. With that cheese pull too. So good. Olives add that little savoriness that, you know, olives have. I can't really describe it. If you know the taste of olives, you know the flavor it has. And it's actually a pretty good contrast to this because this is so cheesy, so buttery. The olives actually help cut it a little bit. I hope you guys try this recipe out for yourselves because it's actually super easy, very versatile. You can really customize it to however you like. And it's also delicious. Try it out for yourselves and let me know what you guys think.
Living life every day.